Sanjay, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the of Rahu, which is currently transiting in the Bharani Nakshatra, that how it is going to be influencing your Moon Nakshatra. Because friends, when I uploaded this video, like I have already uploaded a video on the Nakshatra transition of Rahu. Like Rahu, which is transiting in the Aries sign, but within Aries, as there is the energies of three nakshatras, Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika. So Rahu on June 14th came from Kritika and entered the Bharani Nakshatra. Now when I uploaded this video and I asked everyone that you have to watch this video both from your ascendant and the moon sign. So a lot many people were just confused, perplexed that the results are coming out very contradictory. So because of that only I was thinking about initially making one more video on the from the moon sign perspective, but I thought that will not serve a precise purpose. So why not we can have our exclusive and very precise discussion based on your Moon Nakshatra. So now friends, as you know this thing that whenever we talk about the importance of the Moon Nakshatra, so whether we have to take out any auspicious timing, we have to do any muhurta, we have to name someone, so all those signification are completely dependent on your Moon Nakshatra. And specifically when we talk about the karmic planets like nodes like Rahu, Ketu or Saturn, so we generally emphasize more on studying their influence on your moon, or to be more precise on your Moon Nakshatra. So this is going to be a video exclusively dedicated and devoted to understanding this influence of Rahu's transit on your Moon Nakshatra. And now friends, as we have already discussed in the last video as well, that Rahu, which is a planet of unpredictability, change, innovation, futuristic vision, and somehow Rahu's qualities find resonance in the Bharani Nakshatra. Not only Bharani is being ruled by the planet Venus, which in a way is very friendly with the energies of the Rahu, but over and above that, see, Bharani also has got this innate potential of bringing transformation. Like when we talk about creative talents, we talk about sensual aspect, we talk about anything to do with the matters of the life and death. So somehow Bharani also find resonance, or Bharani also carries all these qualities in itself. That is the only reason friends, even the rulership of the Bharani goes to the Lord of Death and Justice, which is the Lord Yama. So because of which friends, there is a lot which we can expect with this nakshatra change of Rahu in transit. And let's say for example, if basis your ascendant, Rahu is a auspicious planet for you, Rahu is well placed in your chart, and over and above that, either you are going through the Rahu Mahadasha, Rahu Antardasha, Venus Mahadasha, Venus Antardasha, or your profession is straight away connected with the signification of either Rahu or Venus. You work as a fashion designer, you work in entertainment business, high-end retail, luxury, decor, so all those people can straight away get benefited. Like the way friends, we always say this thing, the influence of Rahu majorly affect us on our subconscious level. So it is not only about that Rahu can actually give you some very flourishing business during this time, some very lucrative opportunity, but also when we talk about from some idea perspective, like working on some new idea, exploring some foreign market, unexplored terrain and all of that. So all that can also happen during this nakshatra shift of Rahu within the Aries sign. So that is something friends which I wanted to say. Now we will straight away shift to understanding this transit basis your Moon Nakshatra. So we have in total 27 nakshatras, and basis your Moon Nakshatra we will be following the concept of the Navtara. So if we will start studying this transit basis the sequence of the nakshatras. So your nakshatra might be falling in the category of the Sampat Tara, Ati Mitra Tara. So all of that we will try to understand in this video, that basis the category in which your nakshatra is falling in the sequence, and basis the Navtara category it is holding up, what kind of results this transit is bringing out for you. So now friends, starting first with the Ashwini Nakshatra. So now friends, if your Moon Nakshatra is Ashwini, so starting to count from the Ashwini, Bharani, Rahu's shift in the Bharani will fall in the Sampat Tara category. So definitely friends, this transit is going to be very auspicious, very beneficial for all the Ashwini Moon Nakshatra natives. Now friends, let's say for example, if you are already working in the fields which are connected with the Rahu. Now Rahu, which represents foreign, international market, Rahu which represents technology, innovation, or the Venus in pursuit. So trust me, all of you guys can actually get benefited during this time. Now friends, the beauty of this shift in the Rahu's nakshatra is that first of all, Rahu, which in itself represents very sudden, unpredictable sequence and chain of events. Second thing is that basis your Moon Nakshatra, Venus, like Rahu is in the Bharani, which is being ruled by the planet Venus. And basis your Moon Nakshatra, Venus has got a say in the matters of your second house, which is the house of your finances, which is the house of your near and dear family members, and also the seventh house. So definitely friends, whether you talk about some good financial, lucrative opportunities getting bestowed at you, now whether you have your own business, you are like have been single for a long time, you are awaiting to get married and all of that. So for anything to do with the travels, for the financial benefits, for anything to do with gaining favors or getting right set of help and support from your near and dear people, from your close family members, this transit or this transition of Rahu in the Bharani is actually going to be bringing very good news for all of you guys. Trust me friends, like the ideation aspect or the visualization aspect is definitely going to be very strong, very high. The charisma, elegance, and the curiosity around you is going to be very strong during this time. So try to remain very much open towards new ideas, meeting new people, exploring other options and prospects rather than falling into a rut. That is the only thing which I want to advise to all the Ashwini Moon Nakshatra natives. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Bharani Moon Nakshatra natives. So now friends, in your case, Rahu is going to be coming right over there on your Moon Nakshatra. So this is going to be a Janm Nakshatra transit, Janm Tara, and it is going to be bringing a kind of a average result. Now one thing is that friends, here I'm not concerned only about the material result, because for you guys as well, Rahu and the Venus is going to have a say in the matters of your second house and the seventh house. So definitely friends, commercial success, financial gains, support from the near and dear family people is something which we can expect. But over and above that friends, just because Rahu is coming so close to your Moon Nakshatra, so Rahu qualities is something which you guys are going to be experiencing in a very intense way compared to any other nakshatra. So give more attention towards yoga, meditation, and over and above that friends, like I would say that try to keep a very balanced approach and try to remain very rational, very fair in the financial dealing. Apart from that, I have already explained this thing. Now whether you are connected with the Venusian fields or Rahu fields, good material, financial results can be expected. And over and above that, if you are single, have been planning to get married, or even for the perspective of the love, romance, enhancement of your image, your reputation, too much of the hype built around your name, so that is how we can see or correlate this shift of Rahu's nakshatra placement for your specific Moon Nakshatra. Now friends, moving ahead, now for all the Kritika Moon Nakshatra natives. So now friends, in your case, Rahu is going to be transiting in the Ati Mitra Tara. So Ati Mitra, which means very good friend. So trust me friends, now here we are initially focusing more on the Kritika Nakshatra being placed in the Aries side. So if you are a Aries Kritika native, so friends, because of the support of the near and dear people, good results can actually get manifest during this time. Now let's say for example, if in your profession support from other people, prominent people, or in your line of work, any sort of favorism is an integral part of work, so all those people can get benefited. Let's say for example, if you have been single or you are looking out for a prospective partner for yourself, so during this time some of your near and dear person can actually play the role of a matchmaker during this time. So overall friends, I'm not seeing you guys vulnerable in any front. So definitely friends, regarding the commercial success, financial gains, and moreover friends, whenever we talk about the influence of the Kritika, which in itself carries the energy of the sun as well, so specifically all those people who are connected with the fields of art, entertainment, media, creativity, or if getting recognized or fame, followership is an integral part of your line of work. So all those people can get benefited because of Rahu's shift from the Kritika and its entry in the Bharani Nakshatra. Moving ahead, friends, now let's say for example your Moon Nakshatra is Kritika, but it is placed in the Taurus side of it. So definitely friends, now just because even in this same alignment as well, it is going to be a Ati Mitra Tara transit for you. So all the friendliness and all the charm and elegance and resourcefulness of yours will start manifesting the results of the matters of the 12th house. Definitely friends, this is a very fortunate time to do anything connected with the matters of the 12th house. Now I will be very clear over here. Whether you are trying for overseas settlement, overseas work opportunity, overseas college admission, or anything to do with the import-export line of work, research, exploration, invention. So during this time, friends, trust me, the energy is going to be a lot in your favor. But over and above that, if in your line of work, anything to do with the intoxicants or overconsumption or indulgences, secretive clandestine activities is getting qualified, then you have to remain a little bit cautious. And also friends, like Rahu's influence in the 12th house, that too in the Venus in Nakshatra, many times it also makes us very vulnerable towards making some wrong choices in the personal relationship, like driven by the heightened sense of passion and outburst of the emotions, committing to someone, or you are just feeling yourself isolated, and just because of the fears of the loneliness and all of that, you are trying to get together with someone who is not a very well suited match for you. So only on those areas, if you can remain cautious and careful, so trust me friends, good material results regarding and pertaining the matters of 12th house is going to be coming very soon in your life with this shift of Rahu, which has already taken place in the Bharani Nakshatra. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Rohini Moon Nakshatra natives. So now friends, in your case as well, Rahu is going to be transiting in a Mitra, in a friendly Tara for you guys. All the 12th house related matters will start bestowing its good results in your case as well. Now friends, when we talk about the influence of the Rohini, so as you know that Rohini in itself has a lot to do with the beauty, elegance. I could not even put it down in the numbers that how many fashion designers and interior decor and fashion enthusiasts and expert people I have come across in my consulting experience with a prominent Rohini influence. So trust me friends, whether you are connected with the fields of art, entertainment, creativity, or in your line of work, support from your near and dear people, or anything to do with the matters of the having a successful mass media entertainment career or business, so all those people can straight away get benefited. I do not know in which capacity you're working right now, but this could be a very lucrative time for you to look out for some overseas opportunity as well. Now when I say overseas, if like going to foreign land is not possible for you right now, so at least think about how you can scale up your offering, how can you scale up your business. Are you right now completely in sync with the latest technology, latest standards or not? So those all are the areas where you have to give attention to. And trust me friends, specifically to your Moon Nakshatra, this shift in the Rahu's energies within the Aries is holding up a lot of potential and capacity to specifically, it's not only the transformation or some sort of unpredictable result coming out of the 12th house, but also friends, because 12th house is actually a very hidden house where all the gems universe has kind of preserved, or it is hiding it from us. But just because Rahu is going to be coming in a nakshatra which holds this capacity to generate some sudden unpredictable results, and over and above that, your Moon Nakshatra in itself carries the very impressionable, absorbing qualities of the moon. So over and above that friends, I'm actually looking forward to some good idea coming to you, and during this time I will seriously suggest all the Rohini Moon Nakshatra guys that if you can take out time for doing yoga, doing meditation, this can be a very fruitful transit for you. And also friends, one thing which I want to make it very clear over here is that if in your case your natal moon is afflicted because of the aspect of Rahu or Saturn or Mars, so during this time you might also remain very much prone towards sleepless nights or very vivid prophetic kind of dreams or anxiety and all of that. So you have to give attention towards your emotional mental health. But when we talk about from the material perspective, some new ideation, visualization perspective, this transit is going to be very favorable for all the Rohini Moon Nakshatra natives. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Mrigshira Moon Nakshatra natives. So now friends, like this transit is going to be falling in the category of the Vad Tara for you guys. So because of which, friends, this is kind of making you a little bit vulnerable. So now friends, first we will take up the case of the Taurus Mrigshira natives. So now friends, in your case, I will be very honest with you, because Rahu is going to be changing its nakshatra right over there in your 12th house, and Rahu's energy in the 12th house is always a double-edged sword. So it can actually bring, manifest some foreign, overseas, unseen, unhidden potential and opportunities, but it can also entangle you in any sort of controversies. All of your secrets might be exposed, or any of your secretive clandestine activities might land you in trouble. So over during this time, friends, you have to remain very cautious. Like let's say for example, whether if in your line of work, if secretive activities, secretive engagement is a part of your job, it's a part of your nature of work, then it's still fine, but you have to remain overly cautious. But let's say for example, there is a lot of pervasiveness in your personal behavior, or if in any sort of financial management you have got a very unfair, very unethical, unlawful way of handling or managing those finances, then during this time, friends, you have to remain very cautious, very careful. Another thing is that, friends, just because over here, friends, because in your case as well, Venus has got the rulership of your 6th house lord as well. So I would also say this thing, that even keep a good care of your health as well, specifically in the matters of any sort of allergies, any sort of infection, and your behavior should not be in the lines of that you are instigating people who are not very much in favor of yours. Like when we talk about the 12th house energy, it gives rise to lot many hidden energy, enmity, people who are inimical towards us. They are just looking out for the right time to strike back. So I would say in your own behavior, you should not be instigating any sort of conflict, and I would say that any sort of secretive, clandestine activities, any sort of indulgences or hedonism needs to be monitored very carefully. And let's say for example, if your ongoing dashas are also making you vulnerable, then you have to follow some additional caution. Now friends, let's say for example, if your Moon Nakshatra is Mrigshira, but it is falling in the Gemini section of it. So now definitely, friends, in your case now the vulnerability is going to strike you in the areas of the 11th house. So now friends, in your case as well, because Rahu is going to be transiting in the Bharani Nakshatra, and the ruler of the Bharani, which is Venus, in your case has got the rulership of your 12th house and the 5th house. So friends, trust me, if you deal in any way in the stock market, you have to remain very cautious. Try not to blindly trust any of your acquaintances, any of your friends. Any sponsorship, any collaboration, any new tie-up, new agreement needs to be signed with proper contemplation, with proper care. Now friends, I will again say the same thing, because if you will go from the perspective of the just the ascendant or the moon sign, it is not making you that much vulnerable. But friends, when we go down to the energies of the nakshatra, that in itself always act as a spark. They always act as a triggering factor. And somehow, friends, whenever we talk about these kind of like nodes or Saturn, they in itself carries a very karmic energy, karma, which needs to be experienced in this lifetime. So I would say, friends, that specifically in any sort of public association, collaboration, while any sort of financial dealing, or any sort of giving your word to someone, committing to someone, also the matters of the 5th house, love, romance, the kind of people who are coming into your life, you are being introduced to someone by your close friends. So what is the credibility of that person and all of that? So everything needs to be taken into account, because basis your Moon Nakshatra, Rahu is going to be transiting in the Vadh which is kind of making you a little bit vulnerable. Moving ahead, friends. Now let's say for example, if your Moon Nakshatra is Ardra. So now friends, in your case, from your Moon Nakshatra, Rahu is going to be transiting in the Sadhak Tara. So because of which, friends, some very good results can be anticipated during this stay of Rahu in the Bharani in your 11th house. So all of your socialization, your networking, your friend circle will definitely prove very fruitful, very favorable for you. Second thing is that, friends, because Rahu is transiting in the Nakshatra of Venus. Venus has got the rulership of your 5th house, which is the house of your risk-taking ability, which is the house of your creative potential, and the 12th house. Now 12th house is a house which actually gives you an upper edge overlooking through any illusion, looking through any deception, and having a cutting edge and a competitive edge over your enemies. So trust me friends, I'm actually looking forward to that. Lot of passion, lot of intensity will go towards your goals, towards your progress in your life. And if you are straight away connected with the Rahu fields or Venusian fields, so trust me friends, this is actually going to be a time of progress, growth, new market, new collaboration, new people coming in your life and giving you insights or guidance for your growth, for your success. Moving ahead friends, now let's say for example if your Moon Nakshatra is Punarvasu. So now friends, from your Moon Nakshatra, Rahu is going to be transiting in the Pratyari Tara, which is considered as little bit adverse. And over and above that friends, just because the region of Punarvasu is spread in 2 zodiac sign. Its 3 charan falls in the Gemini and 1 charan, 1 pada falls in the Cancer side of it. So I would say that starting first with the your Moon Nakshatra being Punarvasu but being placed in the Gemini side of it. So definitely friends, because of the Pratyari Tara alignment, it is actually making you very vulnerable, and vulnerability will be experienced, will be felt in the areas of the 11th house. So first of all friends, you do not have to blindly take anyone's word in your circle of influence. Any sort of collaboration, signing up any agreement, any important progressive step in your career needs to be taken with lot of contemplation, with lot of care. Second thing is that friends, even the matters of the 5th house and the 12th house, which are the 2 prime houses of the intoxication, all sort of indulgences, love, romance. So all these areas need to be balanced out very carefully. Let's say for example, if in your line of work or if in your personality, in your behavior, there's a lot of clandestine activities, secretive, underhanded activities is getting qualified, or if you're a kind of person who goes overboard in your risk taking in the investments, stock market and trading, so then you have to remain very cautious. Any uncalculated risk taken by you during this time can actually land you in trouble. That is something friends which I want to say specifically for the Punarvasu Nakshatra, that too falling in the Gemini side of it. Now let's say for example friends, if your Moon Nakshatra is Punarvasu but it is placed in the Cancer side of it. So now friends, over here now the vulnerability of the Pratyari Tara will influence you more in the areas of the 10th house. So now friends, as you know that 10th house Rahu generally incites or encourages or pushes someone to take some uncalculative, unpredictable, fearless, forceful decision. So I will strictly warn you, advise you against all those uncalculative, risky decision taken at workplace. Second thing is that friends, just because the energy is also coming from your 11th house, so during this time Rahu can actually make you very greedy as well to take some important, sudden, unpredictable decision. Like the way the notion and the ideology of Rahu is that we will see it later on, right now just take the step. So these kind of ideologies, these kind of gambling or risk taking qualities needs to be monitored very carefully during this time, because friends, as you can freely see that Rahu in your case has got some say with this transit in the matters of your 4th house as well. So whatsoever you are going to do, you are going to behave during this time will definitely have a direct impact or influence in the matters of your inner emotional peace or in the matters of your domestic harmony as well. So I would say that friends, in the work front, try to remain very calculative. Aiming for something bigger and higher is one thing, but you should have a proper plan and strategy made in place for that. And lastly friends, within the workplace as well, when we talk about Rahu's influence in the Venusian Nakshatra, that too in the matters of the 10th house, so over there as well Rahu can actually create some sort of disharmony as well. Specifically if you are working in any feminine industry or you are reporting straight away to the female bosses and all of that, so over there you have to remain very cautious, because otherwise Rahu might create some sort of misunderstanding as well. Moving ahead friends, now let's say for example if your Moon Nakshatra is Pushya. So now friends, from your Moon Nakshatra, Rahu is going to be transiting in the Shema Tara, which is considered as very auspicious. And trust me friends, I have met so many people who are devoted to the creative fields with a prominent Pushya and the Cancer influence in their life, in their charts. So trust me friends, if you are working in any sort of creative industry, and you are also going through some auspicious dashas as well. So any work, any content created by you during this time can actually manifest some very good results. And over and above that, friends, because Rahu is going to be influencing your 10th house and carrying the energy of the nakshatra ruler of the 11th house and the 4th house. So this is actually going to be a very prominent time for you to actually scale up or look for the expansion or go for any senior role, or in your line of work, how can you blend in new latest technology, new latest innovations, innovative practices. Now even this is a very auspicious time for you to consider buying your own home as well, and all those people who are connected with the fields of like luxury, interior decor and all of that. So during this time, friends, definitely all the people in your network is definitely going to be working a lot in your favor, in your as per your aspiration, as per your liking. And regarding the concerns of being appreciated for your work, getting the support from the prominent people, coming in contact, in touch with the prominent people, and also for any sort of overseas opportunity, foreign travel, and coming in touch with people with different diversified background and all of that. This transit of Rahu in the Bharani is actually creating a very positive energy for all the Pushya Nakshatra natives. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Ashlesha Moon Nakshatra natives. So now, friends, in your case, Rahu is going to be transiting in the Vipat Tara, which is considered as not good, which is considered as little bit vulnerable energy. So trust me, friends, for any important decision making regarding the matters of your 10th house. So in your professional sphere, you have to remain very cautious. Any sudden, unpredictable decision taken by you can actually land you in trouble or any sort of confusion, or can give rise to lot many misunderstandings. The second thing is that, friends, I would say that unless and until your dashas are not running very favorable, you have to take very calculative risk, like any of the aspiration of scaling up or considering or like pressing for any promotion or any seniority role might not work in your favor in long term. So for any of your dreams, your goals and aspirations, you have to remain very realistic, you have to remain very practical, and any decision making on the lines or in the matters of the domestic life, like buying a new home or buying a vehicle or trying to relocate from one place to another place, like how much it is going to be conducive to your professional life, to your work life. So all these decisions, friends, needs to be taken with lot of contemplation, with lot of care, because of the whole alignment, the way it is getting formed, it is kind of making you a little bit vulnerable, because your Moon Nakshatra is kind of falling a little bit resistant towards this energy or this transit of Rahu in the Vipat Tara or the moving ahead, friends. Now let's say, for example, if your Moon Nakshatra is Magha. So now, friends, in your case, Rahu is going to be transiting in the Sampat Tara, so which is creating a very positive news for you guys. So now, friends, in your case, Rahu is already transiting in the 9th house, and it is going to be transiting in the Bharani, which has got the rulership of the 3rd house and the 10th house, because the ruler of Bharani is Venus, which has got a say in these two houses. So trust me, friends, some good results can be anticipated over here during this transit of Rahu. So I would say that specifically if you are looking forward to any overseas settlement, overseas opportunity, long distance foreign travels, this can be seen as a very promising time for you. Also, friends, because Venus in your case becomes a very important planet for you guys, specifically if you are connected with the creative fields. So all those people who are connected with the art, entertainment, film, mass media, creativity, so trust me, friends, some good overseas opportunity or some opportunities with a very substantial strong potential might also fall on your lap during this time. So friends, the only one thing which I want to say over here is that keep yourself open towards some new opportunity, access to new markets. Keep yourself updated in terms of technology, in terms of your membership, your presence in all the important places. And with this entry of Rahu in the Bharani and triggering up the areas of your 3rd house and 10th house, so specifically some opportunities on your professional front. And for all those people who are actually kind of, you are a self-employed person, you are a freelance person, you work with your own skill or you work with your own hands, the energy of the 3rd house. So trust me, friends, because of the support of the luck during this time, all the work, all the content created by you can actually create a buzz or actually make you kind of famous, or can actually bring lot of accolades, lot of appreciation because of all the hard work done by you. Moving ahead, friends. Now let's say, for example, if your Moon Nakshatra is Purva Falguni. So in a way, Rahu is transiting over your Janma Tara. So this is considered as an average transit for you guys. But trust me, friends, because Rahu is actually transiting right now in the ninth house. Basis your moon sign and the Moon Nakshatra, I would say, and it is transiting in the nakshatra of the Venus, which has got a rulership of the third house and the 10th house. So trust me, friends, look very much forward towards some overseas travel or some opportunity which might be international or very cosmopolitan in nature. So I would say, friends, that whether you have your own business, you are a freelance, you are a self-employed person, or you are straight away connected with the fields of Rahu like technology or anything to do with the entertainment, fashion, business and all of that, so all those people can straight away get benefited during this time, friends, like any of the efforts put forth by you, because from your Moon Nakshatra we are actually studying the transit or movement of a planet which in itself represents unpredictability, which in itself represents overseas international exposure and all of that. And because the ninth house is also coming in play, so some sudden development because of the support of luck can also take place in the areas of your profession. So definitely, friends, I'm not seeing you vulnerable. I have already explained this thing, that if you are already working in the fields of the art, entertainment, creativity, some sort of work related overseas journey, overseas connection, some big opportunity, enhancement of reputation, and for all the freelance self-employed people, some sort of sudden collaboration, sponsorship being considered for some new role. So this is how the energy is going to manifest specifically for all the Purva Falguni native. The beauty over here is that, friends, definitely even your friends and people in your network circle will also play a very pivotal role in your success during this time if that is getting qualified in your case. Moving ahead, friends. Now for all the Uttar Falguni Moon Nakshatra natives. So now, friends, like Rahu is going to be transiting in the Ati Mitra Nakshatra compared to your Moon Nakshatra. Second thing is that, friends, Uttar Falguni is spread equally into zodiac sign. So now, friends, over here definitely first we will talk about the Uttar Falguni Leo natives. So now, friends, in your case, your advisors, your teachers, your trainers, even your father is definitely going to be kind of giving you a very empathetic ear towards all of your career related goals, your career related plans as well. Some sort of overseas travel can also take place during this time if you are straight away connected with the Rahu fields or the Venusian connected fields. And also, friends, like if in your ongoing dashas right now, if within the Mahadasha or the Antardasha, if Rahu or Venus, either of these two planets are currently active right now, so some good stupendous success can also be foreseen with this entry of Rahu in the Bharani Nakshatra in your ninth house. So specifically, friends, all those people who are connected with the fields of art, entertainment, creativity, fashion business, or you have your own business, you are a freelance, you are a self-employed person, so all of those people and all of you guys can actually be looking forward to some new opportunities coming your way. Enhancement of the reputation at the work front, some sort of out of the box way of executing your job profile or taking chances, taking risk during this time will definitely be very beautifully rewarded for all the Uttara Falguni Leo Nakshatra natives. And lastly, friends, as I have already explained this thing, that Rahu in itself holds this potential and capacity to give the prospects and chances for fortune awakening whenever it gains strength in the ninth house. So because of the support of the luck, I'm actually looking forward to you guys coming in contact with the prominent people, all those people who can actually play a very pivotal role in your success or who might give actually good sort of guidance or support in your professional journey. So remain very much open and welcoming towards new changes, a very far-sighted vision, and some sort of long journeys, overseas travel during this transit or this shift in the transit of Rahu in your Bharani Nakshatra in your ninth house. Now, friends, let's say, for example, if your Moon Nakshatra is Uttara Falguni but being placed in the Virgo side of it. So now, friends, this can be seen as a good news because all the results are going to manifest in a very sudden, unpredictable way because the energy will come out of your 8th house. But now, friends, because specifically 8th house becomes very important for all those people who are connected with the fields of insurance, revenue, joint resources, anything to do with the alimonies, taxes and all of that. So if you're actually working in all those fields, you can actually get benefited Over and above that, friends, like even the people in your near and dear and the family circle will also prove to be very supporting of all of your decision making during this time. And also, friends, because ninth house energy is also coming in play, and eighth house in a way also represents long distance and water journeys or overseas travel and all of that as well. So any important business related travel taken by you during this time will definitely prove to be very fruitful. One thing, friends, which I want to say over here is that passion can actually be very high during this time. Your energies are running very favorable. Try not to get distracted towards the indulgences of the world, of the society. Rather, if you're going to channelize your energies and give it the right direction, some unpredictable success and results can actually come or can manifest specifically from the 8th house. And also, friends, because Rahu influence and the 8th house influence has got a lot to do with the research and exploration. So not only from the financial perspective, but even for all those people who are currently engaged in any sort of research. Now this could be for occult, now this could be for any of your chosen field. So all the research fellows can also get beautifully rewarded during this time when Rahu is going to be making a shift in the Bharani Nakshatra right over there in your 8th house. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Hasta Moon Nakshatra natives. So now, friends, in your case, Rahu is going to be transiting in the Mitra Tara, a friendly Tara for you guys. So this transit also holds a lot of potential for manifesting some very good results for all of you guys. Now, friends, when I talk about specifically from the perspective of the Hasta natives, so trust me, if you are working in any sort of technical field or any of the field which requires working with your hands, like being very perfectionist, being very detail oriented, so all those people and all those professionals can actually get benefited. Trust me, friends, like if you will see over here, because when we talk about the Moon Nakshatras, like this could be Rohini, Hasta or Shravan, they have got a lot of impressionability. They are actually very receptive towards whatever is happening in their surrounding environment. So over here with this entry of Rahu in the Bharani, this can actually create a hype or a kind of sensibility towards the important decision which needs to be taken regarding the matters of your family, regarding the matters of your finances. And over and above that, friends, because support is also coming in from the 9th house as well. So overall, friends, I'm not seeing you guys vulnerable in any front. Now, whether you work in the fields of art, entertainment, creativity or taxes, inheritance, import export nature of work, all those people can get benefited. Over and above that, friends, I'm actually looking forward to some sudden unpredictable positive news and results for all those people who are connected with any sort of technical field or anything to do with the matters of the 8th house, which is like inheritance, revenue, insurance and all those connected fields. Moving ahead, friends, now let's say for example if your Moon Nakshatra is Chitra. So now, friends, as you know that from your Moon Nakshatra in the Navtara table, Rahu is going to be transiting in the Vad Tara, which is making you a little bit vulnerable. So now, friends, just because Chitra is spread in two zodiac signs, its two padas fall in the Virgo and two padas fall in the Libra. So now first we will talk about the Virgo Chitra natives. So now, friends, in your case, definitely you have to remain very cautious. Any of the financial dealings during this time needs to be done with a lot of contemplation, with a lot of care. Second thing is that, friends, do not leave anything on the matters of the luck. Like let's say for example if you're already going through any sort of confusion or conflict, now this could be with your like within your joint resources with your partner, or this could be with your in-laws, or any sort of secretive, clandestine, underhanded activities needs to be avoided or needs to be done with a lot of contemplation and care, because Rahu is actually making you guys very vulnerable. So I would say, friends, because when we talk about in general the Chitra energy, which has everything to do with the beauty, decor, decoration, being a perfectionist in your chosen craft, but over here, friends, because had it just been a affliction or vulnerability of the Navtara, like making your Moon Nakshatra falling in sync with the energy of the Rahu falling or going to the Vad Tara in the transit. But over and above that, 8th house, Rahu and the whole alignment is actually making specifically your finances very vulnerable. So let's say for example if you're a kind of person who gambles a lot, who's very reckless, who's very careless or very impulsive, in the matters of the financial dealing. And also friends, during this time as well, it's not only the reckless impulsive financial decision making, also like try not to blindly trust people who are even very close to you. Like many times what happens is that we remain cautious when we are dealing with these strangers or people who are outside of our circle of influence, and we tend to remain very careless within our circle of influence. So I would say that whether we talk about dealing with a new person, a stranger, or whether it's about your closest friend, during this time any of the financial decision making needs to be done with proper caution, with proper care, because Rahu otherwise might give rise to misunderstanding, confusion, or money going to the bad debt. So you have to remain very careful in that direction. Moving ahead friends, now let's say for example if your Moon Nakshatra is Chitra but it is placed in the Libra side of it. So definitely friends, because of this vulnerability of the Vad Tara, so all the precautions and the advices need to be followed in the areas of the 7th house, because friends Rahu's transit in the nakshatra of the Venus can actually give rise to misunderstanding in the existing relationship, or let's say for example if you're about to get married or about to get into any new relation, so you have to look at the credibility of the person. Second thing is that friends, even if you are in any sort of partnership nature of work, you have to remain very cautious while taking any important decision. And also for all those people who are in any way connected with the fields of art, entertainment, media, creativity, so you have to remain very cautious, very careful regarding the way you deal and you present yourself, and specifically the way you deal with the feminine influence all around you. So feminine influence and your discipline and your respect and honor towards the feminine influence is going to be all time important during this time. Any pervasive behavior regarding the areas of the 7th house, regarding the areas of the relationship can actually give rise to lot many confusion. And specifically friends, because when we talk about the nakshatra of the Mars, so there is always that heated energy which goes in place, and over and above that Rahu and the Bharani influence, which is a very transformative energy which has got a lot of passion and sensuality attached to it. So Rahu can actually give rise to all of that, all those repressed passion and kind of pent up feelings and all of that. So you have to remain very cautious, very careful that your outburst or any sort of clandestine activity might not land you in trouble or any sort of confusion or misunderstanding in the areas of your business, you're dealing with your partners within the business or within your matrimonial ties. Moving ahead friends, now let's say for example if your Moon Nakshatra is Swati. So now friends, in your case Rahu is going to be transiting in the Sadhak Tara as per the Nav Tara calculation, which is considered as very good. So trust me friends, all the areas and the matters of the 7th house will work in your favor. Now whether you have any sort of partnership business, you connected with the fields of art, entertainment, creative fields, or anything to do with the working in the aviation industry, tech industry, so all those people can get benefited. Trust me friends, your vision is going to be very high during this time. Your mental creative faculties will guide you in the right direction. Your partner is also going to be very supportive of all of your goals, all of your dreams, all of your strategies. So friends, whether we talk about from the enhancement of reputation perspective, being very receptive towards new opportunities, new markets, unexplored terrains and areas, and over and above that friends, like even for all those people who have been single for a long time, planning to get married or be in a relationship, so this transit can actually churn up some very positive news, specifically in the areas or the matters of your 7th house. And friends, I always say this thing, like Rahu's influence in the Venus is an energy of very high-end luxury. So if you are in that stage of your life that you have a very high-end niche clientele, you are a realtor but you deal with the very high-end retail markets and all of that, so trust me, this transit or this shift of Rahu in your 7th house can actually give you access to some very lucrative accounts, lucrative projects during its time. Moving ahead friends, now let's say for example if your Moon Nakshatra is Vishakha. So now friends, in your case because Rahu is going to be transiting in the nakshatra which is Pratyari towards your nakshatra. So in the Navtara table, it is actually making you a little bit vulnerable. So now friends, I would say that because first of all, like Vishakha is spread in 2 zodiac sign. Its 3 charan falls in the Libra and 1 charan falls in the Scorpio. So if you are a Libra Vishakha person. So friends, to begin with, any of the decision making pertaining to the matters of the 7th house needs to be done with a lot of contemplation, with a lot of care. Specifically, if you're a kind of person who is always in confusion regarding any of the say in your matrimonial tie, or you are very impulsive in your important commercial decision making, so you have to remain, friends, very cautious. I would say that you can look forward to expansion or growth, but the risk needs to be taken with a lot of care, with a lot of caution. Second thing is that, friends, because somehow your Moon Nakshatra energy, or like the whole Libra, which is being ruled by the planet Venus, is becoming a part of it, your moon sign. So definitely, friends, on a emotional mental plane, this could be a time where little bit of the agitation might also be felt, might be experienced pertaining to the progress or whatsoever is happening in the matters of your relationship. And the problem and the concern with Rahu is that Rahu many times exaggerate things. So try to remain very much alert towards whatsoever attention or stress you are giving to the areas of your 7th house. Is that relevant? Is that legitimate? Or you are just kind of amplifying things within your own mind? So these are the few things, friends, which I want to say. You have to remain a bit cautious, specifically while dealing with any sort of important commercial decision making, because whatsoever happens from the 7th house, somehow our public image also become a part of that. So this is something which I want to say for all the Libra people. Now friends, if your Moon Nakshatra is Vishakha but being placed in the Scorpio part, so now friends, then Rahu is going to be influencing the areas of your 6th house. So specifically, friends, try to refrain from any arguments or getting into conflict with people. Second thing is that even any sort of debts or loans or financial planning needs to be done with a lot of contemplation, with a lot of care. Third thing is that, friends, I'm also looking at little bit of the vulnerability on the way you deal things or the way your relationship is with the female co-workers or the colleagues. So over there as well, friends, any sort of like pervasive behavior, any sort of agitation, aggression, impulsiveness might land you in problem. So friends, all the 6th house related matters, specifically when we talk about your health, we talk about the concerns of the loans or anything to do with your interpersonal relationship with your peers, with your colleagues, needs to be monitored with proper contemplation, with proper care over there. And also, friends, the energy is kind of making you a little bit vulnerable, that it is not in the best of your interest to give money on credit to other people, because you might end up losing that money as well. Moving ahead, friends, now let's say, for example, if your Moon Nakshatra is Anuradha. So now, friends, from your Moon Nakshatra, Rahu is going to be transiting in the Shema Tara, which is considered as very auspicious. Now, friends, if you will see over here, this whole shift is taking place in your 6th house, which can be considered as a very good sign, because, friends, like Rahu, whether in the natal chart or whether in the transit, is considered as good in one of the Upachya house or in the 6th house. So definitely, friends, if in your line of work you are looking forward to any sort of overseas opportunity, work related overseas opportunity, that could happen during this time. Second thing is that if you are straight away connected with any field, any line of work which is dealing with the female products or woman or fashion related or cosmetic related products, then also you can get benefited. Also, friends, like during this time, overseas opportunity is definitely going to benefit you, any overseas environment or exposure, because, friends, Anuradha is a nakshatra which represents friendliness, and Anuradha native tend to do very good in any foreign environment or influence. So regarding that front as well, I'm seeing this transit specifically working a lot in your favor if the same energies are also getting promised from your activated dashas as well. So overall, friends, I'm not seeing you guys vulnerable. Like, I would also say this thing, that if in the recent past you have been battling with any of the issues of the 6th house, like your competitors giving you hard time, co-workers giving you hard time, or any of the matters of the debts and loans as well, so over there as well, the intuitiveness and the out of the box thinking of Rahu might actually give you some sort of insight, some sort of way through in order to successfully deal with all these imminent or ongoing concerns or challenges. Moving ahead, friends. Now let's say, for example, if your Moon Nakshatra is Jyeshtha, so that means, friends, that Rahu is going to be transiting in the Vipat Tara, which is actually making you a little bit vulnerable. So now, friends, any of the concerns of the 6th house, your relationship with your peers, with your subordinates, any of the concerns of loans or debts, or if you are a kind of person who's very headstrong, who's very impulsive, or who has got some sort of pervasiveness in his or her behavior. So during this time, friends, you have to remain very cautious, because the Vipat Tara transit of Rahu, which represents unpredictability, and Bharani, which has also got a lot of pent up energy of passion and sensuality within it. So friends, this energy is kind of giving us this indication that for all the Jyeshtha native, you have to focus your energies more towards the productive side of your work. Any sort of actions or sudden impulsive action driven by passion can actually land you in some sort of trouble as well. Also, friends, during this time, for any sort of overseas opportunity, any sort of collaboration, any sort of agreement and all of that, you have to look at all the pros and cons very carefully, because many times what happen is that whatsoever look very good on the surface might have some hidden clause which might not be very harmonious towards you. So overall, friends, one thing which I want to say over here is that try not to deliberately or intentionally get into conflict and all of that. And if you're already going through any of the matters of the threats on the account of the competition, or any of the concerns of the loans or health related concerns and all of that, so try to give heightened attention till the time Rahu is going to be transiting in the Bharani Nakshatra. Moving ahead, friends. Now let's say, for example, if your Moon Nakshatra is Mula, so that means that Rahu is going to be changing its nakshatra in your Sampat Tara, which is considered as very auspicious. So trust me, friends, because Rahu is going to be influencing your 5th house. So if in any way you are connected with the fields of art, entertainment, creativity, aviation industry, tech industry, all those people can get benefited. Also, friends, because 5th house is 8th from the 10th house, any important professional changes or transformation is something which we see from the 5th house. So definitely, friends, I'm looking forward to some positive development. Keep yourself receptive and open towards new suggestion, new ideas. Look forward to some new way of scaling up or expanding your line of work, your existing skill set or offering. So overall, friends, like, I'm actually looking forward to some good success which can be indicated for all the Mula Nakshatra native. If your ongoing dashas and the yogas in your chart is also supportive of that, and you're actually working in that direction, that you are working on some big coveted creative project where you want the appreciation and support of your followers or the sponsors or something. So if all of that is getting qualified in your case, I'm actually looking forward to some very good results which Rahu can manifest in a very sudden, unpredictable way for all the Mula Nakshatra natives. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Purvashadha Nakshatra natives. So now, friends, in your case, as you can fairly see that Rahu is going to be transiting in your Janma Tara. So I'm not seeing you guys any vulnerable or not. This transit is making you very blessed or very gifted. It is just like that if your ongoing dashas are also running favorable, and you are a kind of person who's very driven, who always put forth his best foot forward in any given situation, and you are a kind of person who is very much driven towards the mental creative faculties or the fields connected with the 5th house, then I could say that good results can still be foreseen with this entry of Rahu in the Bharani Nakshatra. Also, friends, like, whenever we talk about the energy of the 5th house, over here there is a lot of alignments which are falling in resonance with each other. So first of all, friends, Purvashadha is a nakshatra which carries the energy of the planet Venus, which has got a very fighting spirit attached to it, that whatsoever I have set my goals, whatsoever I have to do, I will try to accomplish that. And Rahu's influence in the 5th house, which has to do with our Pur Punya, with our creative faculties, our mental strategies and all of that. So I would say that, friends, definitely if you are open towards taking some new chance, taking some risk, and life has put you in that crossroad, that you are in that stage where you have to take some important decision, like regarding the matters of your profession, regarding the matters of your career. So I would say, friends, that good results can actually come with this entry of Rahu in the Bharani Bharani Nakshatra in your Janam Tara. And over and above that, friends, because Venus in your case has got the rulership of your 11th house of success, of prominence, of connections, and 6th house of the fighting spirit. So overall, friends, I'm not seeing you guys vulnerable. A lot will be dependent on your dashas and the field in which you are currently engaged in, but definitely your mental, your creative faculties are going to be very intuitive, is going to be very much in favor towards taking and exploring some new opportunities, some new markets during this time. Moving ahead, friends, now let's say for example if your Moon Nakshatra is Utravada, so that means like Rahu is going to be transiting in the Ati Mitra Tara, a very good friend. So I would say that first of all, friends, because Uttarashadha is spread in 2 zodiac signs, like 1 pada falls in the Sagittarius and 3 charan falls in the Capricorn side of it. So if you are a Sagittarius Uttarashadha native, so trust me, because of your charm, your elegance, you will be able to attract lot many opportunities in your life. Over and above that, friends, because 5th house has a lot to do with our mental creative faculties. Now whether you are working in the creative side, you're working in any sort of trading or stock market, so I would say that because of your influence in the society, because of the kind of rapport you have, the kind of image you have, you'll be able to encash a lot on that. So I would say, friends, that specifically in your case, the Sagittarius Uttarashadha native, reach out to people in your circle of influence. Their support, their help can actually prove to be very fruitful in giving you the right set of direction which you need. Because friends, 5th house, which is an important house of our profession, because it is 8th from the 10th house, so any important professional churning up, transformation is generally seen from the 5th house. And Rahu being a planet of out of the box thinking, new vision, futuristic vision, and Bharani also represents transformation. So trust me, friends, because of the support of other people or within your friend circle, within your circle of influence, people support can actually give you or connect you with the right set of opportunities or can give you right direction during this time. Also, friends, like your relationship with your children, if that is getting qualified in your case, is definitely going to be very much harmonious, very friendly during this time. And for all those people who are single, some sort of love romance can also trigger up during this time. Now, friends, let's say for example, if your your Moon Nakshatra is Uttarashadha, but in the Capricorn side of it. So now, friends, just because it is going to be influencing the areas of your 4th house, so good results can be anticipated in the areas or in the matters of the 4th house. Let's say for example, you are in any sort of construction business, you are a realtor, you are a dairy farmer, or in any way if any luxury or high-end clientele is getting qualified in your case during this time, because of the support of the people around you, your influence, your rapport, your image in the market, in the industry, that can actually prove to be very fruitful. And I would say, friends, that some sort of lucrative opportunity can also fall upon you. Also, friends, this can be seen as a very good time for experimenting with your home decor, interior decor, and all of that. And also for anything to do with the areas of the 4th house, like this is a very good time, because friends, like 4th house is something which keeps us locked up in our inner emotional state. Like this is a kind of mindset which I have, this is the kind of ideology, these are the kind of support groups which I have. But with this entry of Rahu in the Bharani, that too in your 4th house, it can actually revamp or give a transformation or a new vision the way you perceive world or the way you perceive any sort of closely knit emotional state or ideologies or your faith or any kind of loyalty group which you have. So Rahu's transit in the Bharani can actually give a revamp in all those areas as well. And now, friends, I have already mentioned this thing because the energy is also coming from the 10th house and the 5th house. So if you are engaged in the fields of the 10th house of your profession being in the fields of construction, real estate and all of that, or you being a sci-fi writer, children book writer and all of that, so all those people can get benefited with this entry or shift of Rahu in the Bharani Nakshatra. Moving ahead, friends, now let's say for example if your Moon Nakshatra is Shravan, so that means Rahu is going to be transiting in the Mitra Tara, in the friendly Tara, in the transit in the Bharani Nakshatra. So definitely, friends, all the signification of the 4th house will definitely work very much harmonious to you. Like I would say that even if in the past you have been going through any of the concerns or challenges in the matters of your domestic life, so things can actually get sorted out during this time. Second thing is that, friends, for all those people who are actually are in the business of real estate or construction or high end luxury decor and all of that, so all those people can also get benefited during this time. Now friends, when we talk about the Shravan natives, so now friends, you have to understand this thing that Shravan natives are being controlled by the energies of the moon. So impressionability or receptivity is something which comes naturally to them. So I would say that be in this mode of remain very much receptive towards what is the kind of development which is taking place in the areas or in the matters of your domestic life. Like the way friends, we always say this thing that fourth house not only tells about the concerns of the family ties, but it also tells about the kind of ideologies, the faith group, or the kind of loyalties which you hold deep within your emotional state, in your heart. So during this time, Rahu can actually revamp all those things, can give you new insight, new breakthrough. And over and above that, if you're actually working in the fields of art, entertainment, creativity, luxury, decor, so this entry of Rahu in the Bharani can actually prove to be very fruitful, can actually connect you with lot many opportunities, and any of the content created by you can actually give you good sort of recognition, reviews, and can establish you or your line of work you're offering in the market in a very concrete way. Moving ahead friends, now let's say for example if your Moon Nakshatra is Dhanishna, so that means Rahu is going to be transiting in the Vad Tara basis your Moon Nakshatra. Now friends, because Dhanishna is spread in two zodiac sign, is 2 Charan falls in the Capricorn and 2 Charan falls in the Aquarius side of it. So now friends, starting first with the Capricorn Dhanishna natives. So definitely friends, because in your case Rahu is going to be transiting or shifting its nakshatra in your 4th house. So now if you deal in the real estate, you are a realtor, or this is going to be a time in the next 8 months when Rahu is going to be transiting in the Bharani, when you're thinking about some heavy investments and heavy spending in real estate, in property, or buying a home or something, so you have to remain very careful, very cautious. Second thing is that friends, because in the domestic life as well, Rahu can actually create some sort of misunderstanding. So I would say that if you're already going through some sort of conflict or issues pertaining to the matters of your family life, so you have to remain very cautious, you have to remain very calm while taking any important decision. Also friends, like this thing that 4th house which is deeply connected with our inner emotional state. So during this time, Rahu can actually create some unknown fear and phobia pertaining to your public image, regarding your professional growth and development. And because it is coming in a nakshatra which has got a rulership, like Bharani is ruled by Venus, and Venus is being ruling your 5th house as well. This is your moon sign. So I would say that driven by your fears, try not to take any uncalculated risk or those kind of decision which might later on become a reason of regret. So these are the only things which I want to say or advise to all the Capricorn Dhanishta natives. Now friends, talking about the Dhanishta Aquarius natives. So now friends, as you can freely see over here that Rahu is going to be changing its nakshatra in your 3rd house. And just because Rahu has got a co-rulership of Aquarius sign as well, but over and above that friends, this is a kind of alignment or a transit which is kind of making you a little bit vulnerable, that you should not be taking any impulsive or reckless decision during this time. Second thing is that there is going to be very high vulnerability of getting betrayed by any close person. So when we talk about putting your blind faith on your friends or on your colleagues, so you have to refrain from that approach, that attitude. And also friends, because in your case Rahu is going in the Bharani Nakshatra, the lord of Bharani is Venus, which in your case becomes the Yog Karaka planet. So friends, I would say that regarding the matters of your domestic life or any sort of overseas journey, try to undertake only all those kind of travels or all those kind of projects which is going to keep your domestic life at peace or intact, rather than creating a turbulence in the matters of your domestic life. But overall friends, like I would say that just try to remain a bit cautious. If you are a kind of person who is always in a haste, who is always in a rush, in a hurry, so try to slow down during this time for the next 8 months when Rahu is going to be transiting from your Vad Tara from the Bharani Nakshatra. Moving ahead friends, now let's say for example if your Moon Nakshatra is Sadbhisha. So now friends, Rahu is going to be transiting in the Sadhak Tara basis your Moon Nakshatra, which is considered as a very auspicious transit for you guys. Now friends, because Rahu co-rules your moon sign Aquarius, and Rahu is going in the Nakshatra of Venus, which basis your moon sign becomes a Yoga Karaka for you guys. So definitely friends, all of your endeavors, all of your efforts will reap some very good results during this time. I would say that the energy and the thrust of Rahu, the relationship management of the Bharani or the transformative creative potential of Bharani, you should utilize to the best of your capabilities during this time. So now friends, whether you are connected with the fields of art, entertainment, creativity, you work as a producer, director, you are a story writer, so I would say that good results will definitely come. It all comes down to the kind of yogas which you have in your chart, the dashas which are currently operational, and are you in that stage of your life where you are trying hard for some coveted title, working hard for setting up a new business, or awaiting some sort of sponsorship, some sort of funding. So if all those things are getting positively getting qualified in your case, so trust me friends, this shift of Rahu's energy in the Bharani in your third house can actually prove to be a game changer and can actually bring some very good success for all the Sadbisha Nakshatra natives. Moving ahead friends, now let's say for example if your Moon Nakshatra is Purvabhadrapada, so that means Rahu is going to be transiting in the Pratyari Tara from your Moon Nakshatra, which is kind of making you a little bit vulnerable. Now friends, just because Purvabhadrapada is spread in two zodiac signs, its 3 charan falls in the Aquarius and 1 charan falls in the Pisces. So now friends, let's first take up the case of the Aquarius Purvabhadrapada natives. So now friends, in your case, just because it is going to be taking place in your third house, so you have to remain very cautious, very careful, that you should not be putting your blind faith, your trust in your friends or people in your circle of influence. Second thing is that if you're in that stage of your life where you are trying to force a change or transition in your line of work, you are trying to start some thing on your own, any business idea of yours, and your circumstances is not allowing that, your ongoing current dasha is not giving permission for that, so I would strictly advise to stay out of that. Third thing is that friends, because Rahu in your case is going in the nakshatra of Venus, and Venus has got a rulership of the 4th house and the 9th house, so this could also give to lot many wanderings, wasteless travels, and I would say that even in the matters of the buying a home or a first time home buyer and all of that, so unless and until everything is not falling in line, everything is not coming out to be in favor, whether your ongoing dasha, your circumstances, the plans and everything, try not to get into that, because Rahu is kind of making you a little bit vulnerable in the areas or in the matters of the third house. Now friends, I always say this thing, Rahu is generally more gain more power in those circumstances where either your natal moon is weak, your moon is conjunct with Rahu, or you are a kind of person who is always venturing out, looking out, or do not work with a concrete or a fixed plan. If you have everything in place and you are completely in control, in command of your senses, then Rahu actually loosen out its power to negatively influence you. And friends, for all the Pisces Purvabhadrapada natives, so now friends, in your case, because Rahu is changing its nakshatra in your second house, so your financial dealing need to be done with lot of contemplation, lot of care. Specifically, if you are in any way connected with the Venusian field or with the Rahu related fields, or you have your own business, you are in any sort of family business, so friends, your speech, your like eating habits, your drinking habits, and also your finances needs to be properly taken care of. Friends, this shift of Rahu's energy is not very harmonious for venturing out something or investing or dealing in a market which is completely new to you. You are a complete novice, that whole industry is completely foreign to you. So my advice to you guys is that unless and until the yogas in your chart and the dashas are very favorable, try to refrain from getting engaged in something where you do not have any expertise or you do not have any idea or experience in that field. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Utravada Nakshatra natives, so now friends, in your case, Rahu is going to be transiting in the Shema Nakshatra, which is considered as very good. So trust me friends, during this time, if your ongoing dashas are running very favorable, you have got some very good yogas in your chart, so Rahu can actually manifest some sudden unpredictable financial rewards for all of you guys. So definitely friends, because Rahu is going in the nakshatra of the Venus, which in your case has got the rulership of the third house and the 8th house. So some sudden unpredictable financial opportunity can actually come to you. So try to keep your social life very active, try to reach out to people. This can be seen as a very good time as well, that connected with the fields of technology. If you want to undertake any new course or get some new skill or invest in a new foreign language and all of that, so all of the hard work or investments done in these fields in future can also pave path towards some lucrative financial returns as well. And last friends, if your Moon Nakshatra is Revati, so that means Rahu is going to be transiting in the Vipat Tara, which is considered as little bit vulnerable energy. So now friends, in your financial dealings, you have to remain very careful, driven by impressionability, deep emotions and all of that. You should not invest your money in something where you do not have any expertise or idea. Second thing is that friends, this could also give rise to some sort of conflicts regarding the fair distribution allocation of money within the family as well. So over there as well, you have to remain very cautious. There could be some sort of travels which could also get generated during this time, but the money or the financial aspect might suffer because of that. So whatsoever time you're going to give to your hobby, to any sort of recreational activities and all of that, try to keep a healthy balance, that it should not be causing a or burning a hole in your pocket, that it should not be making you compromise some of the important, precious, valuable time of yours, which could be devoted or dedicated towards something which is more productive. So this is something friends which I wanted to say as a part of a general probable results for this upcoming transit of Rahu in the Bharani Nakshatra. Because when I asked everyone that you have to watch my previously uploaded video both from the moon sign and the ascendant as well, so many of you were not satisfied and the results were coming out in contradiction. So I hope blending that last video with this nakshatra specific video might be able to give you more additional information regarding this upcoming transit of Rahu. So friends, for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.